Well, it's not raining or blowing a gale at the moment, so I thought I'd just take a wee video and show people what we're up to at the moment, because it's harvesting season. So here you can see we're harvesting a bed of our silver skin garlic. So this variety is Printanor, our late keeping variety, late harvesting variety, and our good keeping variety, and the one we generally use for braids. So I've forked the bed, and fortunately we've got nice soil, so we can just lift the bulbs out and shake the soil off and lay them down to dry a little bit before we pick them up and take them to the shed. So this is harvesting. Everything's harvested by hand. So that's how we do that job. Just lifting the bulbs out of the soil, removing the worst of the soil off the roots, and taking them into the shed to dry. So we've got a few beds, empty beds opening up now. We're getting through all our varieties. Now we're into the later ones. So those were the silver skin beds. These were Takahui, which is an artichoke. So they're out. You can see here we've already got some potatoes planted and coming up. Down the far end we've got a corn patch coming up. This nice lush looking green bed was a cover crop of mustard and buckwheat that I sowed, but clearly the mustard's boosted it a little bit faster than the buckwheat, but you can still see that nice heart-shaped leaf of the buckwheat in there. And I'm just going to mow that down soon, because the mustard's just about to flower, so that means it's done its dash growing. And we've got the Creole Aharaho there, just waiting. That'll be the next one we probably get stuck into, or won't be far away. More empty beds. This is where we took the turbans out earlier, about a month ago. Here, empty turban beds have already been replanted with veggies, all sorts of veggies, just whatever I had growing in my seedlings mix at home. Here we've got a very yellow looking, pretty much ready to harvest patch of marble purple stripe that we grew from bulbils, and we've left some of the scapes on to harvest some more bulbils. Yep, empty Takahui beds. Just go for a wee wander down here, because yeah, there's some interesting stuff. Trying out new varieties, learning all the time. So this one I'm walking up to now with some crazy looking things on the top. This is an Asiatic, so it has some really big, you can sort of see, sort of pea-sized bulbils on that one. So these plants have been grown from bulbils, our first year bulbils, and they've grown quite decent sized bulbs, given that it's the first year. Some buckwheat that popped up there that's flowering. We don't mind volunteer buckwheat flowers or plants. Bit weedy, due for a weed, but this is my beetroot and carrot patch that I've just sown. A few more random vegetables that get popped in to fill the gaps, but this one's looking really pretty at the moment. Here's the elephant garlic. This is what I wanted to show you. So yeah, the bumblebees are loving it. There's a bumblebee on there, so that's why I leave the flowers on, because I like the bumblebees, and the bumblebees like the elephant garlic. So we'll harvest those very soon. You can sort of see the leaves are starting to yellow, so we'll harvest those soon. That was some elephant garlic we bought in from elsewhere, so it's not quite as big as our own seed stock, so it's pretty much ready to harvest now. Unfortunately, I do have some carrots coming away here in amongst the weeds. So yeah, lots of food growing here for us to munch on. This here is a patch of tomatoes. They just turned into a bit of a weed. I think this is a small fruiting one, so it's self-seeded very prolifically there. And yeah, that's our more established veggie patch over there, with some that we got in and a couple of beds we managed to get weeded in spring, ready for next season's garlic. We thought we may as well pop a few veggies in the meantime. So that's tomatoes, brassicas, corn, zucchinis further down. Yeah, so it's quite nice to have the mix of veggies going on. And yeah, that'll be our next project, is getting next year's beds weeded there. So yeah, this is Moa Valley Farm. Lots of empty beds that we're trying to fill up with something productive until we can use it for garlic again in our 4-year crop rotation.